Today I decided that I would sit down and look at my credit card statement from last year, all of it, as well as my bank account, my PayPal account, and also my Amazon account, because the Amazon purchases show up on my credit card, but it doesn't say what I bought. So I want to quickly talk to myself about what I spent my money on last year, and maybe on paper I'll go through and see what was kind of a waste and what wasn't. And this isn't in perfect order or anything like that, but before I went to California, I spent $60 on the medical ID, which said bipolar disorder or taking lithium and blah blah blah. And that was about $60. I don't really think that was a waste, but maybe unnecessary, especially now because it doesn't have the right phone number on it for my emergency contact, so it's no longer good. And I spent money on shipping different things when I buy stuff, but there's no way to really calculate that. I spent probably $40, $50, $60 on meetups for being a spiritual emergence coach. Attending those cost $20 American, and I probably did 2 or 3. I spent $244 on website hosting for my bipolar blog. I pay $14 a month monthly for iTunes, iCloud storage, and that's not a waste, and I don't think the website is either. I'm going to put little tick marks for myself. And I have a BCAA membership. It's $115 a year. That's not a waste because I've called them 2 times when I left my lights on. Well, once I left my lights on, once I called for someone else. I recently learned I only get 4 service calls a year, so that might not have been smart to use it on someone else, but it was nice. And then I called once because my door handle was broken, and it was suggested, oh, call BCAA, they might know what's wrong. But they just looked at it and said, I don't know. So that might have been a waste of a call. I have 1 call left until March, which is about 3 months. And I spent $40 on the color run, which was fun. And so that's important to have some fun. And I spent $40 on going on that forest bathing walk. That was really cool. I spent $125 on those tickets to Boney M. That was fun. I did that all in a month or so, and so I was having fun that month. And that was the month before I started to go downhill. So it seems like I get myself to a place of having lots of fun, the way I like to have fun, and then go downhill. I spent $162 on my trip to the island. And I know the ferry was about $150, and I paid cash, so I didn't have that on there. And then I spent around $1,000 on my trip for holotropic breathwork, which included a ferry ride and then the sessions. That might have been, I don't think it was a waste, but it was a lot of money for 1 week. So, but again, it shows my determination to overcome some of this stuff, I suppose. And then I spent a bunch of money on the Hearty nutritional supplements. Some I have still, and I don't know when or if I'll be using them, so some of that might have been a bit of a waste. Plus, now I'm in this position that has been harder to get out of, so... And then that led to needing the holotropic breathwork, so that is an expense. And then now I've been on to the Peter Smith of balancingbrainchemistry.co.uk, his program, and I've spent $200 on the consult with him, which was worth it, I think, and then probably $400 or more in supplements so far. So that's yet to be determined. I am feeling a little bit of what I might call body anxiety these last couple of days, so I'm feeling that out. And I remember when I was in that fun mode too, I spent $100 on that rainbow stuff for Halloween, and I was on the manic side there, bouncing on my trampoline, wearing a rainbow unitard and things like that. So that was a waste. And then I was thinking I was gonna share some of my videos, and I had that private embed YouTube thing, and that was $300, and that was a waste because I ended up going downhill and then not sharing. So I might still be able to use it somewhat, but it wasn't worth the $300. Even though I think it's a really cool product, I'm not sure if I'll be using it or when. And I also rented a private mailbox with, I think it was about $100 cash, because I was thinking, oh, then I have a mailing address to set up on my blog for PayPal Business and MailChimp and all that. And I haven't really used that at all, so that's a waste. I bought some lottery tickets, hoping that the universe might be generous to me. I guess it's kind of a waste. And also, I have a lot of charges for sushi, sometimes Indian food and Mexican food out and about. I would say I'm eating more restaurant food because I don't have my own space. So it is wasting some money, though it's not a waste of money to eat food. And when I was in California, I paid $150 apparently to get university credit for a class I took down there. I don't know if that was a waste or not, but it was $150, kind of a waste. And also, when I was there, I happened to look at a Kickstarter product on the Kickstarter website, and it was an external hard drive for a phone, 250 gigabytes, and it was $150, and I bought it. It said delivery in May, estimated delivery, which was like a month after I purchased it, and I still haven't seen that item. So it's a waste because I never got it, so I don't even know if it's valuable. And then I talked about how I wasted $120 on the masterclass.com subscription, which gives access to a lot of cool classes by a lot of cool people, but I don't really have time to watch all of it. Originally, I got the Dead Mouse one for $100, and then they offered this unlimited for $100, so I went for it, and then immediately after I was like, what am I doing? It's really cool, but I don't really need it. So I would say that's a waste, because I am going through the Dead Mouse one slowly, but I don't really have a setup to practice what he's preaching. If I did, that would be cool. And even if I did, and that's something I might do at some point, might be a waste because I might not really get into it or use it. So that could be something that I waste my money on this year or next year. We'll see. And then I had to get my car repaired, and that was $120. That was not a waste. And also, when I borrowed a car from a friend when I was in California, I sent $500 towards the payments. That wasn't a waste. And to get to California, the train tickets, somebody gave me a bit of money towards one ticket, but it was about $240. That's not a waste. And I bought the blue light therapy. That was about $140. I don't know if that's a waste or not. I do like it, so I would say it's good. And I bought the Muse headband with my credit card points, but it was about $400 worth of points, or maybe $300. So it's still money because I could have used that on something else. I would say it's kind of maybe okay. It's questionable. I have used it a bit. I probably will use it more. I'm planning to use it when I have my space set up soon to sit on the couch and do the relaxation audio that Peter Smith sent me as part of his program. it's supposed to be done 50 days in a row. I got to 15 days and then I was doing those night shifts and I fell off the wagon of it. So when I'm doing that soon, hopefully, I'm going to use the Muse headband at the same time. So I kind of like it. I think it's worth it, but it's not necessary. But again, I'm always looking for something to help or something to figure stuff out. Information, resources, tools, gadgets. When I look at what I spent money on, there's a lot of that. And then I purchased the Self-Decode annual membership because I had my information from 23andMe DNA analysis and I plugged it into that. I looked at that one day and it was kind of interesting, but they really don't know too much and there's contradictory information and you have to have a lot of background knowledge to really understand it. So I think that was a waste for sure. And I bought some white warm winter boots at Marshall's for $70. That was worth it. And a couple months I paid for a Dropbox subscription because there was more functionality than iCloud storage. And I was playing around with that. Only for, I think I probably had it a couple months, but it was a waste in the end. And also, I bought that Bluetooth heart rate monitor for $40. I tried it once. It doesn't work as well as my chest strap, so that was a waste. And I went for one event for mental health. That was $40. That was fine. And there's that external hard drive through Indiegogo, again listed there. And then what else do I have? My passport renewal was $160. That is necessary. There's parking. I didn't pay for very much parking this year because I didn't really go into town too much. So that was minimal, but fine. And also I bought lipospheric vitamin C when I was doing the Hardy Nutritionals through VitaCost. I guess that's fine, but it's kind of like expensive on the supplements. I have to try to reduce the cost of that somehow. And I also did the trip to LA when I was in California to do eCPR training. And I don't think it was a waste per se, but I really need to focus on stopping this seeking for the answer through supplements, through things like eCPR, and I would do that if I had a lot of resources, but not having a lot of resources, I need to tone that down. That's equivalent to the holotropic breath work, spending $1,000 in a week. Well, for the eCPR, I spent, with gas and everything, probably $500 in a couple days. So even though I enjoyed it and I wouldn't change it, according to my outlook for this year, hopefully, that is considered a waste because it was a car rental and a hotel room and gas, of course. And my cell phone while I was in the USA, I purchased a plan so I could talk to a person in particular and paid probably $200 the whole time I was there, and I think that was a waste. And I got a parking ticket, which was $42. That's a waste of money for sure because I was walking on my phone and I could have easily used the app to add 5 minutes and I just didn't, and the person just happened to be there giving me a ticket. I wasn't trying to save that money, I just lost track of time. And the darkness therapy cost me $40. That is cool. I bought the amber glasses for $16. I haven't really used them, but that's not a big deal. And when I look through my Amazon account, I spent about $170 on books, paper, and Kindle. I think that's okay, but I'm going to try to limit that to probably half. So according to this year, I'm going to call that a waste. And I bought that Harry Taki powder. I think that was about $25. Probably a waste. It made me throw up. but I could put it in a capsule. And I bought a 2 terabyte external hard drive to download the videos I've made onto. That's fine. And tunes to tube, which I've used to convert the videos, that's fine. And then other than that, there is the regular expenses of, I don't know where they are here. Oh, I think I tore up that paper because I put it here, where there's gas, there's car insurance, there's a cell phone, my iTunes storage is $14 a month. I have a $10 charity donation every month. Supplements, I want to limit that to about $200. Of course, there's food, some rent, and like restaurants and coffee, which I want to try to limit. So yeah, I didn't talk about my coffee and restaurant food spending. There wasn't too many purchases for stuff, but that was sort of where I spent my money, and I could do better. I'm going to go through and look to see what the patterns here are. Not just saying, well, I won't go to ECPR again, but what is the drive behind it that would lead me to maybe do something like that or spend that kind of money. And I do have the possible drives this year to get a new car that I can sleep in, to maybe get a stand-up paddleboard, which that is something that could turn out to be a waste if I don't really use it. If I sit in here and write or something and I'm not getting outside, I don't have that as a priority. Or buying some stuff to get into music production, that could be a waste. But I'd rather start wasting money on things for being outside or artistic in the way that I possibly know than supplements and going to mental health events and things like that, or trying to deal with my mental health by being creative in a way that doesn't involve mental health. Because this last year I've been creative, but it's all mental health this and mental health that, creating insights and ideas and things. And it's not like I won't do that at all, but I'm not sure what my one thing will be this year. If it'll be writing a book or blogging or making music or what, but I think once I get settled to my new place, I'll have a better idea. And then, of course, there's income from disability and different things, and it's okay, I'm not in the minus, but I do need to be smarter. And partly I'm looking at this not as a mathematical thing, but seeing the trends that of what I spend money on and why, and using that to see, well, what is really worth it? Is it worth it to spend $1,000 on holotropic breathwork or $1,000 on good food? And when I think about it in the past, when I've done expensive food, I felt like $1 million, and it really is worth it. So just trying to get back to those basic things, and then trying to organize, well, what can I do that is low cost this year? And also maybe how can I create passive income, or after this year of fumbling about a little bit, spending some time really trying to figure out some trends and things and experiment with what could be more helpful, and then decide what I want to do that is perhaps a grounded job. I have no idea. That's a lot of babbling.